Hey, what's up guys? So today let's take a look at how we can use the Unity console to fix errors in our Unity project. So as you can see, I've got a small scene set up, and if I hit play, it tells me that I have compiler errors and I cannot play the game. So the first step to do is to try and know what script is causing the errors. So as you can see here, we know that this is the script Shogun in UI. It's at line 6. This one as well is the same script, however it's at line 9, and this one it's at line 6, for the gun script. So now we've got our two scripts, alright, these two, and if I double click on the first one, it should open the corresponding script for us. Here we can definitely see that we've got two mistakes. First one is gun SOI, it's underlined. It does it that we don't actually see, we cannot find any reference to this namespace or type. Same thing goes for TMP text. So here, the first thing that you should do is to try and guess whether or not this type or class is actually something that you implemented, you downloaded into your project, or is this something that was added by Unity itself, or is present within the Unity editor. So let's start with TMP text. TMP text is part of the Text Mesh Pro component. So if I were to do tmpro.tmp text, as you can see, this solves the error. And another way of doing it would be to, instead of having it here, we can come above here, write using TMP Pro, and this also works. Okay, so if it's something that you downloaded, or if it's something that you know is within the Unity ecosystem, the first thing to check is whether or not you're actually using the using tag above. Alright, so now let's say you did not actually download anything, or perhaps you did download it and you are using the correct using tag, however it still gives you this error. Another thing could be that the file responsible for this class is missing. So if I go back here, as you can see, I have the gun SOI script here, and if I drag it here, it should recompile everything, and as you can see, this also solves the mistake. So two things to keep in mind when dealing with this kind of error. First, is your project missing the actual file or C# class that you're trying to reference? In our case, it's gun SOI. If not, then are you using the correct using tag above for whichever class you are referencing? These should actually fix most of the cases for this particular problem. So now we can hit play, and it should allow us to join the game. Here, so as you can see here, everything is pink. We can move, but there is another issue here. Alright, so let me just hit pause. So this one is quite long. It tells you an assigned reference exception. The variable gun object of gun script has not been assigned. So what this means is that if we click on it, as you can see, it highlights the responsible script, or game object rather. And if we go back down, we could try and find what is causing this error. But here, we don't actually find anything that's particularly helping us, right? Because here is the only script that we had, and everything seems to be corresponding, right? As you can see, nothing is left unchecked or unreferenced. So where is this error in? If we double click on it, it comes here. So selected gun.select crosshair. Now here, let's take a look at selected gun. What is selected gun? This is a gun script. Okay, let's open this script, the gun script one. Here is the select method. It takes in an image crosshair and then sets the gun object to set active, and then just changes the sprite and reload. So here we've got the gun object, which is a game object variable on the gun script, and a crosshair, which is sent using the character controller. Here we can see that the crosshair is definitely assigned. However, if I take a look at the first gun, as you can see here, the gun object was not assigned in the inspector. So if I were to assign this one and ensure that even the pistol is assigned, if I now hit play, this should technically fix the issue. As you can see here, now we don't have an issue and we can properly shoot and reload without any errors. Great. So next time that you've got a null reference exception error, just ensure that whichever variable you're trying to access has been assigned in the inspector, and if you are loading it dynamically, that is using get component, ensure that you're actually storing it and that you are not overriding it with null. And a general rule of thumb is to always check for the null before trying to use it. So here I do controller equals to null, and then I just debug.log character controller component not found, and then I just stop right here to prevent any further bugs. Great, so this was the two errors and mistakes that we had. Before ending this video, let's try and see why everything is pink. So this actually might happen if you had a project and just upgraded to from the standard to the universal render pipeline or the HDRP, then you might actually see a lot of the materials and textures becoming pink. Hopefully this is quite an easy fix. So for us, I represent two cases. One case is you've downloaded the asset from the Unity Asset Store, but you aren't using any HDRP, any render pipelines. Alright, but the asset itself was made for URP or HDRP. In this way, what you can do is go under project settings, graphics, and right here in the default render pipeline, just assign a render pipeline. You can find some more videos on how to actually create one, or I might actually make one in the future. But as you can see, this actually fixes most of the broken textures or materials. Now we've got some more colors, we actually see our gun and the environment. However, these ones actually is still pink. Now how to fix it? As you can see, if I highlight one of them, I get access to the material, and the actual material is pink. So I can just right click on it, select material, and what you can do here is take a look. If the shader says standard, but you're actually using a render pipeline, then this will actually turn pink. How to fix it? You go under edit, rendering, materials, convert selected to render pipeline, and then proceed. Great, so now everything is fixed and the game can be played. Awesome. So I hope you find this little video helpful for you. I know some people might be overwhelmed when there is a lot of bugs, but these should be the two most common bugs that I found for Unity game developers in general. Obviously, if you've got any other suggestions or queries or anything that you wanted to add, perhaps more bugs that you want me to cover and hopefully help you guys around, just leave them in the comment section down below. And I apologize for my voice today, I'm a little bit sick. But so on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye.